One of the most frustrating things about living in an apartment is a small kitchen. I've seen master chefs with huge island kitchens, countertop for days, cabinets you can store anything in, and some of the most elaborate kitchen equipment you could ever see. But when you live in an apartment, you need simple solutions to make your cooking life easy. This cutting board weighs about 10-15 pounds. It's doubled my space for the countertop in order to cook, in order to cut, in order to do a lot of things. I used to use this small one, and in some of my earlier videos you've seen me use this. It still has its purpose. But for the things that I'm doing, I need a lot of space. I need room, and this cutting board provides it. I spoke to my sister one day and she said, why don't you get a cutting board that covers your sink? It'll give you more space. Well, I did exactly that. And this cutting board has made my life so much easier. Vegetable slicer. I picked this up at Target. It was easy to use, easy to put together, easy to take apart, easy to maneuver. I can slice, I can dice, I can shred, I can do a number of things. And this was very inexpensive. But if you don't handle a knife well, it's going to be very difficult chopping all the things that we chop and doing all the things that we do. So I'm actually going to make some potatoes and onions tonight. So I've already shaved some potatoes, but I want you guys to see just how easy this is. And for the onion, so you got potatoes and you got onions already sliced and diced. If you work long hours and you don't have a lot of time to cook, or you just want to prepare for the entire week, this is probably one of the most ingenious things they've come up with to make your life simpler, to make things easy for when you come home and you have to cook. So now, when I need any type of vegetables, I just keep them in the refrigerator. I pack them up, put them inside there, and when I'm going to cook, I bring everything out. Now for the show, I actually slice on the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. But for the most part, I don't need to do that. All these things are pretty easy, pretty simple. And they make your life so much easier. Vegetable chopper. This will make your chopping experience so much easier. If you're not very good with a very sharp knife, because you need a very keen eye, you're going to cut something. Trust me, I've had that experience before. Though I'm very good with a knife, everybody has a mishap. So if you're not a knife user, you can cut it into big pieces and chop it up into small pieces. I will put all of these in the show notes so you guys can find all these things if any of these things appeal to you and work for you. Miniature colander. When you have a small sink in a small space, you need equipment that works for what you have, not what you want it to be. So I'm able to do small amounts because I usually cook for 1 or 2 people. And I don't need a big colander. Besides, a big colander in here probably takes up the whole sink. So this makes my life easier. It's easier to clean. It's small, it's compact. I can get done quickly with what I want to do. And my cooking life is so much easier with this. Seven-inch baking pans with removable bottoms. Now, the reason this is beneficial, when you have a small place, you don't have a gigantic oven. So you need small things where you can make layered baking items. So I can make layers of cake in small pans. And now they're easier to remove. The cleanup is easy because you don't have small crevices that you can't get into. And I can make layer after layer after layer. So if you look at my strawberry shortcake video, you will see I used both these pans and how easy it was for me to create this. Baking paper. Baking paper allows me to line pans without using a whole bunch of oil or butter or flour. It keeps down the things that you need to do in order to do what you're trying to do. What I mean by that is things stick when you start to baking. So if I can put in baking paper, slice it, dice it, cut it to make it fit. When I'm done, I just lift it out. When you look at my strawberry shortcake video, you'll see how easy it was for me to take the cake out of here. And I didn't have to use a lot of butter. I didn't have to use a lot of flour. I didn't have no mess. I didn't have no burns. I didn't have any of those things. So it's beneficial for the longevity of your pots and how clean everything is. This is a cooling rack. This helped me in so many different ways. I'm going to be making donuts soon. And when you make donuts and then you put powdered sugar on them, they need to sit on a place. When you put icing on a cake or icing on donuts or icing on anything, when you're using powdered sugar to cover something, you need this cooling rack, but you also need this pan underneath to catch everything that you're putting on top. So it allows it to cool without you moving it. You can turn it over and ice the other side. So this became very beneficial for me when I made the strawberry shortcake. Even when I made I made something else. Oh, I made the lemon pound cake. Yes. So if you bake, this is going to be beneficial for you. If you don't bake, it might give you an opportunity to bake so you can try something new. Stainless steel mixing bowls. Stainless steel mixing bowls work with a lot of different things. After I cut meat, and I'm going to season it, or I'm going to marinate it, I can easily put all the meat in here, marinate it, and put it in the refrigerator. If I'm baking and I'm mixing and I'm stirring and I'm blending and I'm whisking, it works for that also. I made a banana pudding. I put the ingredients for the banana pudding in here and put this over the top of a boiling pot. It's called a double boiler. And what that does is it allows you to mix and heat at the same time without having some intricate, elaborate, expensive equipment that we don't have room for in the first place. So these work in abundance of ways. They're not very expensive. I will leave the information about them in the show notes. A multilateral blender. It's got a whisking head and it's got a double blending head. The benefit of this is you can blend straight down with it, or you can turn it to a regular blender. It benefits you in so many ways based on how much room that you have. I whisk a lot. You know how difficult it can be with a hand whisker? You might be here for 10, 15, 12 minutes. If you whisk 5 minutes, your arm is tired. If you haven't done this in a long time, oh, you're gonna be tired. So it's very beneficial where you can whisk it and then double blend it so it doesn't take as long as it would by hand. This has made my life so much easier. I mean, you can go at it at so many different angles. I love this little thing. Last but not least, my convection oven. This oven allows me to use my small space, cook large items. This is big enough, folks, I can even get a turkey inside of here. It allows me to toast, to bake, turbo convection, broil, warm, defrost, pizza. It's got a timer on it. You can set your temperature. At the end of this year, you're gonna see me stuff 2 Cornish hens. It cooks quickly because convection allows it to cook thoroughly through meats and different pastas, different casseroles. So for me, it works perfect for everything that I do, everything I cook, and anything that I warm up. Well, these are the 10 things that make my cooking life so much easier. I hope you found value in them, and I hope you saw some things that you were interested in. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. Please like, comment, subscribe. Your comments are so valuable to the YouTube algorithm. Without them, most people don't even see these videos. So if you find value, please leave a comment. If you got a question, if you have just any comment whatsoever, you want to start a conversation, leave a comment. It's very useful and it's very helpful. As I said, I'm a new YouTube channel and I'm trying to grow it. So thank you for coming. Those who stopped by for the very first time, please come again. And I will see you next time at this leisure moment.